Hi everyone, I am making a little video today about a step card that I'm going to be teaching my team later in the day. So this video initially is just going to be for my team members, but this is the little step card. You can see it's got the little sort of step on the side and everything. So I thought I would teach you all how to make this, and I will be posting onto our Creatables homepage the measurements and everything like that. So you will need your stamping cutter, and ideally I would suggest that you go with the thick cardstock, because the thin cardstock, I'm afraid, just doesn't work. It just sort of, all of this sort of collapses and it just doesn't really work terribly well. So you want to have your cardstock this way, and you want to measure it up to the 5.5 mark on here. Then you need to cut between the 2.5 mark all the way through to the 16 mark. So that's my scorer, that's my cutter. I'm going to pop it up to that 2.5 mark there and just press it in. And as I say, I want to cut it up to 16. So you see how it's got a little pointy bit on it, then that will give you that cut. Okay, at that point you then want to turn it this way, and if you take it to the halfway, so that's 10.5 is the halfway point between the two sides, you only want to score on one side of this, so you score on the side that's the 5.5 side. So we're just going to score it like that, and you can see then there's one score line on that side. This side actually has multiple score lines. So what we then do is we measure it to the 2.5 mark, which is where our line here actually starts. And you want to score between that and the edge. And then you pop it up to 5 centimetres. So there's my 5 centimetre mark, and again I want to score from that line out to the edge. Then we measure it up to 8 centimetres, and again you just want to go from there back, and then 11 centimetres. There's my 11 centimetres, and finally all the way to the 16 centimetres. So that should be right at the very end there. And there you have it. So you have one score line there. So this kind of then concertinas. Let's pop this away. So you've got one score line there, one score line there, one there, one there, and one there. And so, as I say, it all concertinas together like that. And it should press down. So then you just take your bone scorer and you just want to make sure that those edges are nice and neat on it. And there you have your basic card. So then we want to decorate it. So we want to decorate it up to look like this one. So flattening it out, you've got, oh, we're actually using, better show you, this set here. So Carols of Christmas. For our team it was an early release, or for anyone who's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, it was an early release during July. It will be available to the general public from the 1st of August, and then it'll be in the Christmas catalogue. So it's got this really cute stamp set. Voila! One stamp set. I really like the little deer, isn't he gorgeous? And it's also got frame lit dies or thin lit dies like that, which I have here, but you really can't tell what's what in it because I've been using them, and they never managed to stick back in the right places. So I just thought I'd better show you those. Then we've got a bit of cherry cobbler for our piece on earth. So let's ink up my piece on earth, make sure it's all nicely inked. And that should fit in that little section there. Count up to 5, lift off, and you should have a great image. force of habit, I always stamp off my stamps just to make sure that most of the ink is off it, and I can get rid of that one. Okay, the other one I've also stamped on here is my little deer, because I think he's really cute. So with soft suede, I'm just going to pop the little deer in the corner. Oh dear. Just bear in mind that you want to leave a little bit of space for your ribbon to go along the top and along the bottom. Let's get rid of the excess ink on that one. Pop that over there, get it out of the way. Alright, so then you have basically that. So our card is coming together gradually. Now, what I've done, I've created a moon, as you can see on here. So to create the moon, we're going to use a 1 1/4 inch punch, circle punch, obviously. So just punch yourself out one of those, and there it is. I've got my crushed curry and my Dapper Denim ink pads and daubers. So just add, you don't want it too dark or too deep basically. So pop a little bit of the crushed curry down the bottom of the circle, and the Dapper Denim just put a little bit of that up the top of the circle, just to give yourself that sort of look as if the moon is just rising, and you know, you've got your dark sky. And anyway, that's my interpretation of it anyway. Hopefully it works for you guys too. Then you need a piece of this that you may not be able to see, because we are going to use that to stick the moon on behind the trees. So you just want a piece of that, and let's pop it away over there. That would be really good if I actually had a snail adhesive with me. Hold on. One snail. Okay, so because I want the yellow to be at the bottom, I'm just going to add a bit of snail adhesive to the bottom of that, and then I can add it onto there so it's fairly straight on that piece. Okay. Now, what I've gone ahead and done is I've pre-cut some trees out, because I figured you probably didn't need to see me cutting trees. So I've cut 1, 2, 3 of, oh God, come here. 3 of each basically. So we're going to go ahead and add one to the back there. Let's just put one, a little bit of snail, and attach that onto the back there. Then before you put the next lot of trees in, because they actually sit just in front of these ones, this is where you want to sort of put your moon in there, so it's not actually going to show on the back. So pop the snail adhesive on, put your moon in place, and come on, hey, it's being awkward. And then pop some trees in front of your moon, just so that it looks like the moon is rising in the background. Then I've added a couple more trees to the middle row. So let's just do that. Actually, it's kind of easier if you add them like this, so then you can see what it's going to look like with the other trees behind it. And I may have just put a bit too much snail adhesive up there. I really want it just on the edge. Ooh, I hate having it on my workspace. Let's get rid of that. Alright, so then we're going to go about there. So you've got those, and And maybe like that. I reckon that would work. And that, and maybe over a bit more. There we go. So that. So then you've got your little forest going on. Starting to look good. And the last couple of things is just to use some of this ribbon. So it's really cool because it's got little crosses on one side and then it's got little dashes on the other side. See, if you do cross stitch properly, that's what it's meant to look like on the back. But yeah. So we just need a piece of this. Oh, now don't stick your tree down up here because you actually need to persuade this behind there. So I've got that and that. See how we go with managing to get it so it ends up. Right, let's do it that way. Come on, through you go. There we go. So then you can just trim off. Which way do I want this one to go? That way maybe. Oops. That would help if it was going to come off. There we go. So there we go. Piece on earth with a little matching. This is cherry cobbler. That's why it kind of matches it. And we use cherry cobbler ink. And then the other one I've got is this really fine ribbon. It's called sheer ribbon. There you go. And you just want a piece that's going to go all the way around it and tie on the front. Might be easier actually like this. So, as they say, talk amongst yourselves for a little bit while I just do a knot. Not a knot. There we go. And then once that's on, it can just be moved to wherever you're going to put it. That's that. Let's take those bits off. And voila! Yay! Round of applause. Oh dear, I haven't done that terribly well. And if you wanted to, just add a little bit of glue just underneath each side, just to keep that ribbon in place. And there we go. That is a side step card, which I'm going to be teaching the ladies tomorrow. Okay, thanks for watching. And I'll just bring this back into it, just in case anyone's interested, and you know, this is going out to general public eventually. Thanks.